And when you look at the NFC North and you look at the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers can't save you now. He gone. So now it's the Jordan Love era, and it begins in earnest up there at Lambeau Field. They won 8 games a year ago. Could have made the playoffs, but they lost in the last game of the regular season to the Lions. Win total, 7.5. Wes Reynolds. Do you believe enough in Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur and that brain trust to say, yeah, I can play that over 7.5?
If you made me, I lean over a little bit just because I think that receiving core is better. Much was made that Rodgers never had receivers, but he had a young core last year. But I think Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, they drafted Jaden Reed, by the way, in the second round this year. Musgrave also a tight end in the second round. So there's a lot of young talent here, but you got a very inexperienced quarterback. I think defensively, they're probably going to be very solid, especially in that back seven, their linebacker core and their secondary. Probably one of the better groups combined in the NFL. But look, we're going to find out week 1 because what was Aaron Rodgers? He was 24-5. I own you, he says to Chicago, and he did. Is Jordan Love going to maintain as Rodgers has signed over the deed to the house to him? Is he going to own Chicago? So not sure about that. But look, Packers also don't have a lot of cold weather advantage late in the season because if you look, they open with the 2 straight road games and then 4 of the 6 away from home. They only have 3 home games after November 19th. You have Tampa Bay, you have Chicago, that's a cold weather team, and then Kansas City. So really only Tampa Bay where you have that weather advantage late.
You mentioned that game week 1. Matt, that's 2.5. Bears are favored at home in Soldier Field, 2.5 over the Packers. What do you make of that? What do you make of the Packers long term?
I'm not surprised the Bears are favored. I thought it would be 2.5 in that range, 1.5, 2.5. There's a lot of Justin Fields hype with that Bears offense. Now you got to remember the Bears lost 10 in a row to finish last season. But I do think that Bears offense is in better position right now than Jordan Love and the Packers would be going into week 1. I just not sure what we're going to see from Love early in this season. So I thought the Bears are probably rightful favorites there, less than a field goal in week 1. But I'm a little bit surprised here. The Packers drew 5 primetime games. The maximum is 6.
Wow.
And the Packers drew 5. The one game I'm looking forward to on the schedule is week 5, Packers at Raiders on Monday Night Football. That's going to be a big game for Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. McDaniels can't afford to lose home games like that. DraftKings has opened the number, Raiders minus 1.5. So I actually think the Packers are getting a decent amount of respect here in the early betting market, and not saying that, hey, with Jordan Love, this team's going to be terrible.
Right, and look, we're going to know about Jordan Love, I think, early on because 8 of the first 9 games you see on that schedule, weeks 1 through 9, against non-playoff teams. So not a lot of world beaters early on in the season for Jordan Love, so we'll find out right away.
One thing I do want to mention about the Packers, too, is that schedule from week 10 to week 14. Look at that schedule. At Steelers, versus Chargers, at Lions, versus Chiefs, at Giants. That's a brutal stretch for the Packers.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.